It's the weekend before QuiltCon. I look around the house. I've got nothing to wear. I feel like such a louse. No quilt coat, no jumpsuit, no embellished jeans. But wait, I'm a quilter and I've got the means. I'll pull out the stash, throw my thinking cap on. Hey, I've got this thong. No, back to the drawing board. I think and I think. Hold on to your seats, guys. I'll show you in a wink. Hi, I'm Di with Sister Chicks Quilting, and welcome to my channel. I hope my poetry doesn't scare you away. I was just in a silly mood and whipped that out, and I thought it would be a fun opener. But seriously, I don't know what I'm going to take to QuiltCon until I saw this jacket. I'm doing the fashion show. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to talk to you backwards because I want you to look at this quilt right here. How do you think that block would look right in the middle of the back of my coat? One day in a live, several of you said that's what I should do, and that's what I'm going to do. So I spent the time working on my block, making the applique for it, getting everything ready. I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to have to change sewing machines to do it because I'm going to applique it. Of course, I could straight edge applique. No, I'm gonna zigzag it because I want the black thread around it. As you can see, the black thread for the feet and that is a major part of my quilt block. So I'm going to switch machines, get her done. When I was making this up, I mean, it was like 11 o'clock. I did this chick and look, he's backwards. Can you see that? I thought, oh, I can do better than that. I'll figure it. I know what I did wrong. So I made a second chick and he's backwards. I made a third chick and he's backwards. Finally, it took me 4 chicks to get the chick facing the right direction. Thought, oh, I've got this. This is how you do it. So I thought, I've got this. I started to make the wing. I made this wing. It's not only, it's backwards. In fact, I didn't even turn it all the way. So that's gone. Then I made this wing. And I thought, oh, it's perfect. I'm going to put it on my chick. So I put it on my chick. It was backwards. Like, are you kidding me? So I looked at my chicks. I pulled the best backwards chick. And who's to say these chicks can't flip back and forth? I say they can. Here is my chick with its wing. And it's going on the center of that quilt. It'll just be a little... It'll be facing the other direction. Who cares? It's my quilt, right? Then I have all of these, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to applique a chick on the front pocket. But it's going to be a hand sew. So I'll figure it out. Who knows? I may be sewing it on the plane. Whatever, just as long as it gets on. But I thought that would be cute. So this will be my new quilt coat clothing for QuiltCon. For those of you who haven't been, the quilters that attend have embraced quilting so much. They wear clothing made from quilts, or they embellish their clothing with quilt blocks or quilts. It's amazing to see the clothes at QuiltCon. Then one last thing I want to tell you about this coat. I put it on and I showed the engineer, I go, hey, what do you think? And he just burst out laughing. I said, what? What's so funny? I think it's a cute coat. And he said, it looks like the coats that the chain gang wore in the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He said, so really, he calls it my chain gang coat. What do guys know anyway, right? Let's get this going. Okay, here I go. Here I sit with a pile of chicks. I'm gonna clip them together. This is the eyeball and the beak. It's flannel or not flannel, it's felt, and it's stick-on, so it holds down while you go ahead and measure it. That one I'm throwing away. You know, I wanted a little bit of poof. I didn't want just a block on the back of the jacket. I wanted something to make it look quilted. And I've just been thinking, what am I going to do? I don't really want something that shrinks badly. And I have this Soft and Bright by the Warm Company. This is what I make my design wall out of. And I had this nice big piece left over from the last design wall I made. Look how thin it is. Let me get all this crud off it. Can you see? It's nice and thin. This is not going to shrink. It's 100% polyester. I'm excited about having it on because it is a garment and you have to think of those things. And I'll probably wash the coat in cold water and drip it dry. So this will be perfect for that. Now, this quilt block I designed. I drew it up, it's mine, and one of these days I'll release it as a pattern. How you can get it. After you see me make it, you may not want to get it. And the reason why is there's a Y seam in it. In fact, there's 4 Y seams in it. I can show you how to do a Y seam. I kind of like doing them. I feel a bit like Superwoman or Wonder Woman. More like Wonder Woman, I think, when I do a Y seam. You can guess where the Y seam is. Oh, would this be it? Finger press this down. So I have this guy, and I think what I have to do this Y seam is I've got this about 1/4 of an inch overlapped over this seam here, but this pin is going right through that seam. So let's get her going. I'm going to press these down with my Laura Star, and guys, I've kind of screwed up the pattern. I didn't have it written down, or I've lost where I had it written down, and I don't know if you can see or not, but this is not straight across in this line. I wish I'd have made these pieces a little longer, because if you match this point, and this point, look at that. I guess it's no big deal to cut that off, but you hate to. I'm not going to do it until I start constructing the block. Been a while since I've made this block. Like I made this quilt in 2019, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I want to show you the back side. When you do this method correctly, all of these lines, seam lines, naturally go like that. You don't press them over this way. And I think I made a mistake in cutting the little corner. That's okay. Whoops, what did I do here? That was that first piece I sewed. I am steaming these. Am I worried about them shrinking? Not at all, because this is the Laura Star, and it's dry steam. It doesn't shrink. I've tested it all over. I think one of these times I'll show you guys in a video how it works. It's been a while since I've shown it. So here's how it looks when I flip it over. I'm going to do this, and here. First, I'll make sure this seam is pressed open. Then I'm going to, yeah, it was a mistake definitely to clip those corners, but live and learn, right? The Laura Star is going to make everything look magic. There we go. Oh, geez. By the way, this is all I had of this polka dot material. And literally, I'm thankful I had it because I'm out after that. It's a Michael Miller print called, I think, Michael Miller's Circus Dot. And it's from 2010. So I'm grateful I had these pieces. I literally have just barely enough to make this. Let's get on with the block construction. So I've kind of squared it up a little bit. The absolute worst condition ever. I'm going to go with it, though. I'm just going to go with it. Because I somehow think I'm going to be able to quilt all of this out. Did you guys... Have you heard the song called, it's kind of funny, Quilt This Out? And they just talk about these terrible quilting jobs like this that are all puffy and they're not flat. Anyway, what a mess. Anyway, it goes, quilt that out, quilt that out. And I'm just laughing because I think that's what I'm going to do is quilt that out. Now I know where that song comes from. It comes from the desperation of, this is all the fabric I have left. I've done everything I could. And so I'm gonna do that. The next step, I'm gonna put the inner facing on. I do have I'm gonna cut this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut me a piece of polyester. Ooh, what a dummy. Do you guys ever leave your blade open? I try and close mine all the time, but had mine open, and this lady, she commented to me, I can't believe you left your blade open. By the way, my blade was way over here and my hands, and I was working down here. She said, it is just such an egregious error for you to leave your blade open like you did. I've unsubscribed and I can't watch your channel. And I just thought, oh, that poor woman has issues. Oh my goodness. And then, this is what's funny. I was watching some other videos and Jenny Doan was who I was watching. And guess what she did? She left her blade open and sat it down and worked all around it. And I thought, well, if Jenny Doan can do it, I certainly can make that mistake. Okie dokie, artichoke. And then I'm going to cut my facing. And I've decided I don't have a lot of this fabric left, but I'm going to use it. Look at this. Click. The reason I'm going to use it is because then my sides will be cohesive. And what I may do is I have this, I may sew it on and just leave this batting right in here. Now that's a cool idea. See what it's like quilting with me when I have no plan? I should have left the batting a little bigger so I could trim it after I sewed it, but oh well, I didn't. So instead, I'm gonna stick some pins in to hold it because I want it to stay in place. Let's hope I have enough. This is all I have left over of this. It's a Riley Blake. You know what I don't want to do? I don't want to miter the corners, but I think you have to. Crap, you guys. This is just... Okay, I'll cut a little bit more than 13 inches. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to finish the seams on the inside portion. Nope, I'm just not going to do it because it's going to be all stitched down. So you're hearing my brain work. I'm talking out loud the way my brain is thinking. I'm going to do 1.5 inches, all right? What I'm going to do is leave some space on both sides like this so I can miter. And I'll and let's see. Because I'm going to fold them up like so. and there's going to be a seam there, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to give myself some space. Oh, and one thing I want to do is I do not want to cut my point off. So I'm going to mark that puppy. There we go, get the ink flowing, and then I'm going to put this one on. And what I'm doing is just putting a pin through this so it's right on the point or just at the top of the point. Okay, then I'm going to mark it on both sides of this pin. I guess miters really aren't that bad. I just felt like complaining. So that's one side. Here is side 2. I have some very, very sad news. Sister Chick's Quilting Retreat for 2026 is sold out. Okay? Sorry, it sold out in one day. But you can still retreat with me at the 3 Quilt Amigas retreat. I would love it if you would come, and you not only get me, but you get Crazy Tracy from the Sewing Channel, and she does get crazy. And Loony April. Did I just call her Loony? She is so much fun. I have to tell you, I knew April first, and love her dearly. I love Tracy too. I've got some pretty cool quilty friends for which I just feel so incredibly blessed, you guys. So anyway, but if you wanted to come to the 3 Quilt Amigas, we would welcome you with open arms. It's in April and May in Hamilton, Missouri. We have a lot of fun. We're giving away a Juki DX7, which I'm going to be sewing on soon because I'm going to have to do the applique to get this sewn on. It is my applique machine, and it is a good applique machine. Oh, you know what I think would be easiest of all is if I just did this like so. And pinned it, held it up like this and pinned it. But yeah, if you want to come and retreat with me, you'll have to catch up with me at the 3 Quilt Amigas retreat in Hamilton, Missouri. All the information is at 3quiltamigas.com. Go ahead and go to that website, 3quiltamigas.com, and you'll find us. And you'll see everything there is to see about the retreat. Did you notice I did this one without even any? Wow, I didn't even use the heat disappearing ink. I have been asked, do I really attend and do you really get to meet and talk with me? Well, of course, absolutely. Actually hang out with you guys, okay? Hey, I like that. That was pretty easy to do. So I'm gonna clip it and open it up, sew her down, and I'll have 2 corners done. And I was kind of whining, thinking this wasn't gonna work out. I'll give that a clip down, this a clip down, and then I'll stitch this corner down. Okay, moment of truth. I have a point. Dude. This is the stitch I chose, and this is my test. It's looking pretty good. I wanted you to see my voodoo chick. That's what I was thinking. He has all these pins. She has all these pins stuck in her. Her name is Sister, of course. And so anyway, I'm going to start up here, the tip of the tail, and kind of be artsy with it. In fact, what I'm going to do is draw it a little bit how I want it to be with this disappearing ink. That's about what I want my chick tail to be like. I'll try and keep my hand out of the way, guys, but You just don't know. There we go. What do you think? Not bad. Now I have to draw the legs on, and I'm going to do the beak and the eyeball. The eyeball is going to be a little tricky because it's so little. Wing is giving sister her personality, I think. And notice it's not polka dot. Not that I didn't have, I had a tiny scrap of polka dot. I just felt like the polka dots were too big. When I created sister on the computer, I shrunk the polka dots. Well, you can't do that in real life. And so I have this confetti fabric. I think it's by Michael Miller. Here we go. Sister is about to become a full-fledged quilting chick, you guys. Best I can do is like make it use this line as a straight edge and measure down like 2 inches from that line, and there's 2 inches, and then I want to, it's a little closer to this side. So from the 2-inch mark, it is, from this side, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, it needs to come over quite a bit. What am I doing in the quilting studio? Last night I was filming and my phone just died. I do film on my phone. I was totally out of battery juice. So I came out, I thought, what the heck? Why don't I do this? I can't believe it. So I'm going to walk around, get my camera, and show you what I'm looking at right now. You will not believe it. I thought it would be fun to quilt it on my long arm, and I'll show you a close-up. I have little bubbles in here, and I just kind of pop the chick out, but all I have to do are finish the red spots. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I think I'm going to drop the same design in, but I'm going to put some red thread on them. I'm going to do these in some red thread. And I just dropped a little design I made up in there, and then I'm done. Anyway, I'm all ready for QuiltCon. This is my logo quilt, my inspiration. Kind of cute. I like it, so I'm keeping it. And this is my logo jacket. What do you think? I kind of feel like a pink lady or like I have a Letterman jacket. So it's all I'm going to do for now. But I love these pockets, and I'm going to probably hand stitch some fun things on the pockets as time goes by. But what I am going to do for you now, I'm going to show you the quilting that I did on the back. And I'm going to get a little close. I hope you can see it. And while I have my back to the audience, I want to thank Tea Rose Quilting for buying me a cup of tea. She's the cute lady I ran into that was in the last video, and she has a channel, Tea Rose Quilting. I also want to thank Andrea G for the generous 3 cups of tea, you're sweet. And then I'd like to thank Deb Parrish for the cup of tea. Now, Deb Parrish is from England, and I bet I run into her at the Birmingham Quilt Show. I can't wait. I'm not sure if I got these ladies or not, but Karen Tank in Iowa, thank you, and Susan Anderton. Thank you both for the cup of teas. I really appreciate everybody that supports my channel. You guys are the best. Now, I'm all ready for QuiltCon. I just have to pack my bags and, oh my gosh, do a mountain of laundry. I better go get that done. And then I have this little quilt that I have half finished that I want to get posted. I've loaded my plate full. If you like my channel, I would love it so much if you would subscribe. That means the world to us YouTube quilters. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you next time around. Bye.